So welcome to another gear pickups video, and I've decided that the first video of every Wednesday will be some kind of vlog. Now this time it's a pickups video, but I also include CDs and I will answer some questions that I got and just haven't answered yet. However, first thing, admire my new t-shirt. It's from Devin Townsend and I think it's the most metal shirt ever. You should definitely buy it immediately. And after that, we'll start with the CD pickups. So the month of January was a good month CD-wise. I could achieve some awesome CDs, but they are exclusively classics. So the newest release is actually the one you see right here. It's the solo EP from John Arch from Fate's Warning, Twist of Faith. I'm actually no fan of John Arch vocals. I just don't like his timbre. I much prefer Ray Alder in Fate's Warning, but Jim Mateos wrote the songs with him and he does a great job, both Mateos and Arch. So good CD, you should check it out. 2 songs only, but over 15 minutes. Next is classic Entombed Hollow Man, although I have to admit I much prefer Left Hand Path and Clandestine. Wolverine Blues is okay. This one too death and rolly for me. Then I got a Savatage CD, well 2 actually. Dead Winter Dead, not my cup of tea, it's too quiet I guess. The Poets and Madmen I much prefer over those 2. Very cool sound, very experimental I have to say. Then I got the Megadeth Countdown to Extinction. It's the one with Symphony of Destruction on it, and I have to say it's a really good sounding record, especially the drums. And I got some more Camel. This is the first record. It's very cool and I can definitely see why Mikkel Akefeld from Opeth says Camel is one of his biggest influences. And some more Camel, the Mirage. I had this record previously actually, but I borrowed it to someone and never got it back, so here it is again. And the Landscapes. Didn't know this, it's actually a best of. I normally don't buy best ofs, but anyways, it's cool. Then I got myself some Van Halen, it's the Fair Warning, don't like this record. And the 1984. This is way better than the Fair Warning. It has Jump Off on it, of course, as well as Panama. Really cool songs here. Running Wild, can zoom in now. It's a German power metal band, were most successful back in the late 80s and 90s, and they're famous for their awesome rhythm guitar sound that they had back in the 90s. So I've got 3 records, Port Royal, Blazing Stone and Pile of Skulls. All are very good, great songs on it, so yeah. And the last 2 records I haven't listened to yet because I know them quite well. It's Led Zeppelin 1 and Led Zeppelin 2, and I think I don't have to say more about Led Zeppelin. You should know them. So now I will answer some questions, and the first question comes from Sam, and he's asking, man, that was really funny. I don't know where, but I can remember Entombed was using EMG on Ibanez through left and right and DS1 again in mid. Now question is, why an active pickup through HM2 worked for them? Well, I can only assume because I wasn't around at the time when they recorded, but I think the output, the actual output of an active pickup isn't this high that you might think. So the sound of an HM2 is quite good with an active pickup. However, I mentioned it previously in one of my videos, if you have a passive pickup and you adjust the height too much, it has way too much output and it overdrives the HM2 input, and then it sounds totally rubbish like a broken speaker or so. And I guess with EMGs you don't have this problem. Okay, next question comes from Abraham Watson.
Interesting concept for a pedal. I have been noticing that much like the HM2, there is a definite interest in PV amps growing in the world, especially in the older amps from the 70s, 80s. I certainly am part of the PV cult. Okay, it's not a question actually, but I've become too a cult follower of the PV amps, and I want to purchase a couple of PVs. I'm in search for the PV VTM for couple of months, and I really appreciate their older products, the made in USA ones, and I can see why people use these amps because they're actually very good and, as of right now, reasonably priced. Okay, next question. Goat Surgeon. I think if you want the chainsaw hot sauce in your tasty mix, all you need to do is set the iMaster gain to 0 and use an overdrive to get your driven element. You can make anything saw with it and make it chuck and keep it tight for melodic stuff. Yes, you're right. You basically can stick with the iMaster and you're done. You get every chainsaw that's possible with an added EQ or whatever. But where would be the fun? You know, I mean, okay, I might be overdoing it, but I have 30-ish, 40-ish HM2 style pedals, and it's so much fun to try them all out, to see the different flavors and sound they got. And so don't get me wrong, I totally agree with you. I just do it for the fun, and I think some pedals sound better than others. Next question. Those aren't questions at all. I'm just commenting on stuff. The guitar playing loser. Also for a question. Question. Have you ever considered getting into electronics yourself and making your own unique take on the beast? That's what I'm hoping for when I have time. Yes, I have considered it, and I failed miserably. I am so awful at soldering and I hate it. I get my guitars done, I can change a pickup if I want. I might be able to do some other electronic stuff, but I so hate soldering that I most definitely won't build any pedal on my own. Sorry. The Link Sal 75. Thanks for the awesome videos. Well, you're welcome. 1. I'm pretty sure you can program the Boss Katana so that the built-in boost is an HM2. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Well, I can't correct you, I don't know. Maybe some other guy can confirm. I don't have a katana on my own, might purchase one in the future, but I'm not sure yet. And you have a part 2 of your question. Since so many metal guitarists use an overdrive boost in front of the amp, have you considered making pink noise comparison videos on those types of pedals? Yes, I have considered it. I own a couple of Tube Screamerish pedals on my own, but I don't think they are enough to justify a real comparison video. But I might borrow some from other guitar players and friends I have, and might do a video in the future. If you want to see such video, let me know down in the comments. And I think we have one more question. Amort666. Great videos as always. Can you show how you EQ your amps for the HM2 sound? Well, do you mean for recordings or do you mean for YouTube playthroughs? As for YouTube playthroughs, I use basically 3 different sounds. The clean amp, a distorted amp, and a tube pre. It's the model it's called in the XFX, but it's basically just a power amp. And I can show you the settings right here. For the clean amp and for the distorted amp as well. You look at it. Biceps. And for the tube pre, it's here. Hope this helps. And the last question of today, or actually 3 questions. First, beyond Entombed and Dismember, who are some of the earliest bands to use the HM2 to get the chainsaw guitar sound? Well, I'm actually a teacher, but why should I teach you if you can do the research yourself? So, I have a recommendation for you. I recommend you to read, and I basically recommend everyone to read, the Swedish death metal book from Daniel Ekeroth. He explains basically the history of Swedish death metal, and there are so many bands you might never heard of, and give it a read. To answer your question most shortly, well, the predecessor of Entombed was Nihilist and the predecessor of Dismember were Carnage. So, there you have it. Question number 2. How excited are you for the upcoming Fleshcrawl album? Well, the Fleshcrawl album is already out as of making this video, and I haven't given a listen to the Fleshcrawl album, and therefore I wasn't really excited. Sorry, guys. And the last part. Have you tried Invitrus Brewing's H2M Pale Ale? It's not available to me yet in Canada, but I at least love the title and the way the can looks. No, I haven't tasted it. I don't drink beer actually. But I made a little research, and it looks totally ridiculous. And maybe I purchase a can or a bottle or so just to put it on the shelf. So, that's all the questions, and now we have one more thing to do.
And now for the long-awaited gear pickups. This month was a real vintage month, I think. I've got 3 pedals and 1 amp, and both are at least 20 years old, if not older. Okay, we start with the pedals. First pedal I got was the Ken Multi Metal Master MMM22. It's of course a Boss HM2 clone. Yeah, just looks like another area plastic housing. Video is actually finished, I just have to edit it, so release will be, I think, April or May or so. Next pedal I got very cheap and was very fortunate to get it this cheap. The Rocktech Metal Worker. I've looked for it for a couple months and now I pulled the trigger. It's another Boss HM2 clone in a plastic housing, and I think I did finish the video as well, just need some editing, but I haven't decided when to release it. I have so much other things to release. And the last pedal I haven't heard yet, just got it a couple days ago and couldn't do anything with it. It's the DoD American Metal, not the Super American Metal, already got it. It's the American Metal with just 3 knobs. And well, I have a bit bad luck with DoD pedals because this one is missing the battery cavity too. So yeah, review this year. I forgot to add to this pickup that I also got a new guitar. I have tried it out, of course, wasn't at a rehearsal yet, but anyways, I think you should know. It's a new Black Cat guitar I got. They are a small company from Poland. So this one, custom made for me, has some hair heads it has. It has this nice ash body with the sandblasted fields. The intention was to build Ibanez Universe on steroids, and I think Atomic did an amazing job. There's fan fret, I like my frets fanned. Yes, expect a in-depth review in a couple months or so. And now, the amp pickup for this month. I have to do some little cutting magic to show you what I got, because it's heavy. Boys, it's heavy. You know, I wanted to pick up a PV Bandit a long time, the teal stripe version actually, but the only ones I found were local pickups, and I don't want to drive 200-300 kilometers one way to pick up an amp that costs, well, the fuel it would take to get there is more expensive than the actual amp, so it doesn't make any sense. However, I found this one for a very good price, and he was willing to ship it, and it's sadly not the PV Bandit, it's the Studio Pro 40. It's made in the US, and okay, I have to set it back. More gym time for me, I guess. The thing is, this was very cheap, and if some amps are too cheap to believe, there is a catch. And with this amp you saw the red tape, I have to remove it, and sadly all the pots are scratching as hell. They even drastically alter the sound if I turn them clockwise and turn them fully counterclockwise and clockwise again. Both clockwise positions sound nothing alike. So that's unfortunate, but I'm a soldering king. No, I'm not. I hate soldering, but I think I can do it. I have to change all the pots. This will take some time because I hate soldering, and I hope I can do this around Easter or so. That's quite a few months, but well, I have to look when I have time. I expect a review around the summer or so. Anyways, that's it for the gear pickups. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or any more suggestions what I should review. Maybe new purchased shirts or so. Huh? Devon? Space Cat? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. May the 4th be with you and have a nice day.